If the NFL draft were held in a vacuum, if there were no surprises, no trades up, no crazy reaches and no cascading falls, the Chargers would know who they're selecting tonight with the number 17 pick in the first round. The evaluations are done. The grades are in. But the draft doesn't work that way, and that's why, in the final hours leading up to the event, Chargers General Manager Tom Telesco and his staff don't know who they'll be adding with their first pick. In the last few days, the Chargers have been running through scenarios, doing their own mock drafts to best prepare for tonight. Earlier this week, Telesco assigned scouts and coaches to take control of a team and study the roster's needs so they could hold a mock draft together. We'll go through that exercise. It's actually pretty fun to do, and it's helpful, Telesco said. I kinda like it when some things go off the rails a bit because it gives us some more things to think about and talk about. Part of the exercise is trying to find the situations in which a trade up or down makes sense. We'll go through different scenarios of where guys would go and what we would do because, draft day, you can't have those discussions. It's hard enough making decisions with the clock ticking down in front of you, Telesco said. You can't have those long discussions at this point. You have to have that decided. There will be certain trigger points in a round depending on who is where we might start talking about trading up or trading back or stand pat. Everything is on the table right now because the draft demands that. The team picking in the middle of the first round must be flexible, ready to pounce if an opportunity to move up presents itself or to wait and let the right player come to them. It's just more scenarios you have to work through in trying to know the process of what's in front of you, Telesco said. It takes a lot of preparation. The Chargers have put in the work. Here's what it might lead to. DD Garon Payne. The argument for Payne is huge, 6'3", 311 pounds, and he was a force in the middle of Alabama's defensive line, performing at college football's highest level. He's stout in defending the run and seems pretty polished. He checks a lot of boxes for the Chargers and very well could be the pick at number 17. The argument against, it would be nice if Payne were a more accomplished pass rusher, especially with more downs spent in passing situations on defense. Pounds Rashawn Evans. The argument for, the Chargers need help at linebacker, and Evans, another Alabama product, is NFL ready. He's a good athlete who improved while playing behind big names at his position in college, speaking well of his work ethic. The argument against, though the Chargers need linebackers, do they need one so early in the draft? They previously have found starters in later rounds in Jatavis Brown and Kyle Emanuel, and could do so again this year with a deep class at the position. OT Mike Mahinchi. The argument for, the top offensive tackle on most boards, the former Notre Dame captain is a pro-ready player who would add youth to the outside of the Chargers line, where they need it most. The argument against, the Chargers used 2 of their first 3 picks on linemen last season, and there are intriguing prospects who could be on the board in rounds 2 and 3. There are in-house options, too, including Joe Barksdale, the 2017 starter at right tackle. QB Lamar Jackson. The argument for, he could be the best quarterback prospect in the draft, thanks to his superior athleticism and ability to force defenses to account for him as a runner. He also has a big-time arm. The argument against, the Chargers already have a starting quarterback, and a first-round pick spent on Philip Rivers' replacement would mean a second straight year without an impact from the team's top selection receiver Mike Williams missed most of his rookie season with an injury. The player who drops. The argument for, there will be top 10 talent that falls because of the unexpected happening, and when it happens, the Chargers could move up and pounce. Safeties Jordan James Warning Fitzpatrick seem like obvious picks if either were on the board. The same goes for linebackers Roquan Smith and Tremaine Edmonds. The argument against, moving up is always risky, especially when nearly everyone agrees that there will be a lot of talent available in the second, third and fourth rounds. The wild cards. The argument for, the Chargers might be tempted by a few prospects who play positions of need but whom most mock drafts predict to go off the board later than at number 17. Buckle offensive tackle Colton Miller, Stanford safety Justin Reed and Boise State linebacker Leighton Vander Esch might be considered reaches, but if the Chargers' evaluations say otherwise, any of them could end up as the team's pick. The argument against, it's dangerous when you see something that other evaluators don't, but Telesco has said the team will trust its draft board. Still, if the Chargers want a player pegged to go lower, they would be well advised to move back a few spots, if possible. Dan.Watt at LaTimes.com